Mr. Bernier, a similar question in English. What is political Islam and what does it have to do with the election in October?
Look what happened right now with the Conservative Party of Canada. Look what happened with Andrew Scheer. He's the one he went to see extremist Islam people in their meeting, and he's pandering to them. He wants to have their votes. That's not me who's playing that card. That's him. That's him. And it's a fact. And he has Islamists in his party that are running for him.
Who?
Do your research, you'll find.
Who's an Islamist who's running for the Conservatives in 2019?
But first of all, look at it. You look at it, you'll find that person, and I can tell you that you'll find that person if you
Why would you say
go
that
to the
person's name?
report.
Why would you say that name?
Go and see the report from the expert, from the former RCMP and our Canadian forces. You see it, and it's important to have that discussion in Canada. We are a party that is open for everybody who share our Canadian values, and I'm very proud of that. And that's why we have people from different faith, Muslim, Christian with us, that believe in our party. So that can be a threat, yes, that can be a threat, and we have to have that discussion in Canada right now.
What are Canadian values? That can be a threat?
Canadian values, equality between man and woman, respect of our institution, the separation between the state and religion, that's important in our country. The Western civilization values, that's our values, and we want people who are coming here to share our values, and we're proud of that. And they did it in the past. We're against mass immigration, but we are for immigration. We just want fewer immigrants, but mostly more economic immigrants, and that's important. As you may know, only 26% of the immigrants this year are economic immigrants. 74% of them are not economic immigrants. So we need to have more for our economy, for the prosperity of our country. And our ratio will be from 26% to 50%. So we need to have this discussion about immigration. Look what happened in other Western civilization, Western countries, in France, in Europe, in Belgium. They have huge challenges to integrate their immigrants. I don't want that in this country. So that's time to have this debate, and we want to have this debate. We're very different than the other political parties. They don't want that debate. We want that debate. We want that debate about supply management, the cartel. We want that debate about balancing the budget in 2 years. They don't want that debate. So we're ready. Without us, it won't be a real debate. You will answer.
Non, mais je vote après moi comme chef.
Well, this is the influence of political Islam, and I got to be honest. Firstly, these lights are killing me. But secondly, with all due respect, I'm shocked to hear a journalist ask, "What is political Islam?" You guys are all on Twitter. You're all in social media. You're aware of what's going on in the world. You see this constantly, and that's why I said in my speech, even to my friends on the left, who are fans of Sam Harris, Bill Maher, those sorts of people, who are having these conversations and saying, we need to have these conversations on all sides of the political spectrum. That's what political is. And I can recommend something to you.
That's not a definition of political Islam.
I can recommend to you Tom Quiggin's book, Submission, The Danger of Political Islam with a Warning to America. That book has been sent to every single member of parliament last year.
How do you know that the Liberal Party is infested with Islamists?
What's that?
I'm curious, how do you know that the Liberal Party is infested?
I work with a team of intelligence people. We have 100 podcasts already, right? This is what we talk about. We deal with intelligence issues, and we focus on what is Islamist political entryism in our society. I would recommend perhaps listening to the Quiggen report.
Mr. Bernie, do you share these beliefs?
First of all, I think it's important to have this debate and have this question. And I'm very pleased that Benjamin was at our conference to speak about that. And we are the only political party that wants to be sure that people who are coming to our country share our Canadian values, and that's important.
Now, you said you hope that Mr. Johnson will change his mind and invite your party and you to the leaders' debate. But how lucky do you think that will be when you don't meet the official criteria as listed?
I don't agree with your...
as he said.
He said that, but I don't know if you have time to read my letter back to him. And he didn't. For me, I think he did an error in his looking at his mandate. His mandate is very clear. There's 3 conditions, and one of them is to look at the recent political context in line with pollings. And what he did, he just looked at the poll of today. So, and in his mandate, they are saying a chance to elect candidates the 21st of October, not today, taking into context the recent political context. And I think it's as important. Look today what happened. We have 40,000 members all across the country. people who believe in our values and the way that we're doing politics. So we must be there. It won't be a real debate if we're not there. And I hope he will change his mind. I hope. So we'll see what will happen in a couple of weeks from now.
Mr. Bernier, you're no longer a party of one, as you said today.
Yeah. Do you believe it?
But you're a new party. You're a new party, right?
Yeah.
So what is your goal come October 21st? I mean, do you hope to get
To be in
5%,
government.
10%?
To be in government. To be in government. I'm here to win.
You're here to win.
Yeah, I'm here to win.
If you don't
Is
win
your-
in
is
more
your
than
goal-
one riding, will that be a failure for you and your party?
I'm here to win.
Will it be a failure for you and your party if you don't win in more than one riding?
That's not gonna
The
happen.
failure will be if the most important for us is to be here and to speak to Canadians. And I hope that Canadians will look at our platform, look at our candidates. We have great candidates all across the country. And yes, we can be in government. If you look at the poll today, there's 35% of Canadians that are undecided. Couple of weeks before the general election. 30% of the population didn't vote at the last federal election because they don't believe in traditional politicians. So if we can have only half of them, half of 30% that didn't vote, and they are coming for the next election, I'll start my election at 15%. So answering your question, yes, I think we can win, and the worst case scenario would be to have the balance of power.
So you would do that with the Conservatives? You would join a government with the
I'm not
Conservatives?
saying that. I'm not saying that.
Well, then how would
we
if
won't
you don't
do it.
win majority?
Look what happened in BC. 3 Greens are controlling the government over there. I think if we're not winning, and that's the goal, the worst case scenario is to have the balance of power. And if we have the balance of power, we will be honest with our principle. We won't do any compromise with our principle. And I said to a lady in Calgary that asked me the question, Mr. Bernier, you know, if you're not Prime Minister, do you think that you will merge with the Conservative? I look at her, I said, never. Never. And she was very happy. We're a political party, we create that, and we can see the momentum right now, and we're there for the long term.
Is your goal to replace the Conservative Party? Do you think that's possible?
We'll see what Canadian will decide.
Right, yeah,
But the NDP, look what they said. Oh, if Bernier is there, we don't want to see him. He published a letter that he wrote to the commissioner. So I think they don't want us. They don't want us because we have a different point of view. He's supposed to work for the poor, the NDP. How come they are for a cartel, the dairy, poultry, and eggs, that Canadians are paying twice the price for these products, $400 a Canadian family for that, when you're supposed to work for the poor? He's not working for the poor, we are. And you know, they don't want to abolish corporate welfare. Why? Because they have huge support in GM and with their union over there. We have people that voted for the NDP in our party because of these 2 files. They want to be sure that we'll work for the poor, and we're doing that for every Canadian. Abolishing the cartel and supply management, and abolishing also the corporate welfare. And you know, business people are happy with that. Entrepreneurs, they don't want to have subsidies from the government. They want to have lower taxes. So when we're doing that, it's the right policies for our country. But they're afraid. I will ask the question, why are you supporting the cartel in dairy and milk? Why do you want Canadians to pay more for milk, poultry, and eggs? Why? I'll ask the question. We'll see the answer. That would be a very interesting debate.
You said you hope Mr. Johnson will change his mind, but how do you expect him to? If you're not
Because
gonna
he
furnish
erred in the interpretation of his mandate. Look at the letter that he sent me a couple of days ago. He said no to us just because on polling of today. And if you read the mandate, it's the reasonable chances to elect it change its mind and looking at his mandate. And I think, I hope he will do it.
Mr. Bernier, what happens to the People's Party if 0 MPs are elected?
We will have a lot of MPs, you can be sure that. And
But what happens if there's none?
you know, I'm there to win. So do you really expect me to answer that question?
Just watch me.
Yeah, you know, just watch
watch
us.
me.
Just
Watch
watch
us.
us. We will have more than
watch
one
us.
MP.
If you're not elected yourself, will you remain with the People's Party? Will this remain your endeavor?
I'm there, I've just said that I'm there for the long run, and will elect candidates under the PPC banner, starting by myself.
Mr. Bernier, Justin Trudeau has said that Canada has no money to give veterans at this time. How do you cost out your new veterans policy?
It is, thank you for the question. I'm very happy that our people wrote that policy. First of all, that would be a cost, but the cost won't be on the first year. We'll be able to balance the budget. It's a new insurance, so it's over a couple of years. So we'll look at it with the budget, parliamentary budget officer, and we will come. And same thing for our tax reform also. What is the cost of our tax reform? We expect the cost of our tax reform around 40 to $50 billion. So we want to know the real number, and that's why we are asking the parliamentary budget official to look at it, and that will be the same thing with the veterans.
I know you said you don't do any polling, but Mr. Johnson has asked you for a handful of ridings you think you can win. Would you share with us the 3 ridings you think PPC may win?
We're gonna win more than 3 ridings for sure.
So can you give me at least 3 that you think you're going to win?
No. So what we do? I don't do any polling. You know, the real poll, the real survey would be the 21st of October. So I will write a letter to Mr. Johnson, and that will be public. And like I'm telling you, you know, we didn't do any polling, and I don't expect to do any polling before the end of this week.
Do you see the United Nations as a threat to Canada, and if so, why? I've seen some
Migration
comments about
compact. Migration compact.
But it's not
Yeah,
binding.
okay, I like that. I was waiting for that. It's not binding. So why signing an agreement if you don't want to follow that agreement? Yes, it's not binding. You won't have a civil servant from the UN writing our immigration law. It will be civil servant in our country that will write our new immigration law in line with that compact. So why, if it's not binding, signing this agreement if you don't believe in it? If you sign the agreement, it's because you believe in it and you want to change your own immigration policy. And you know, it's so important. I said in my speech in immigration, we will be open for refugees, but we want to help the real one, the minority Christians that are in danger, the minority Muslims that are in danger. I said that in my speech. So let's help the real refugees, and that's part of our platform.
But, well, just to take that further, is there anything else? Is that the only thing that bothers you about the United Nations? Is that the only issue you have with things?
I think it's an important one. I think it is a concrete
Well, the
one.
Migration Compact also helps countries cooperate for deportations, and that's something that, you know,
But
you would-
for
you
them,
would
for the
theory, you
UN,
would
for
be
the UN,
in favor of,
migration,
right?
migration must be normal. It is normal. Migration, it is normal in this world. For us, it is not. We must help these people to stay in their country. That's the goal. I'm sure they want to stay in a safe and secure country. That must be the goal of all the countries in this planet, to be sure that these people can stay safely in their own country. So that must be the goal, not to you know, we cannot save everybody in Canada. We're gonna help people, and I know that Canadians are generous, and that's okay. So that's why we'll help the real refugees, not the one who are crossing illegally the border in my own province in Quebec.
Some people would say that your policies are very similar to Donald Trump's. What do you say to that? Are you Canada's Donald Trump?
No, I'm a politician from this country, and if you're saying that, why are you saying it's?
Because your immigration policy is similar. What you said about climate change is similar. I mean, there are
Because you can
similarities.
win.
Yeah, I'm saying that because I believe in it. I'm not doing politics based on survey and what another politician is saying. It's based on values and principle. That's why I'm ready to defend our platform with passion and conviction and asking the question to the other leaders. I'm myself. I'm authentic. I'm not another politician. And I think people appreciate that.